Welcome, guys. This is Lennox Bennett. Today we'll be having another POB paper for 2022 and beyond examination. And let us begin. I want this video to be as short as possible, but not taking away from the quality of the explanations and so on. All right. So let's proceed. Barter is best described as A process of exchange involving use of money, B purchase of goods and services using checks, C exchange of goods and services without the use of money, and that will be C. Right, let's move on to number 2. Labor is best defined as A physical and mental capabilities to perform a task, and we're not going to go any further since A is the which of the following credit B money with everybody will collect money from Western Union and MoneyGram getting large. Number 4, the term trade refers to A, the selling of goods and services on the stock market, B, the movement of immigrants from one country to another, C, any commercial activity involving the exchange of goods and services, or is it D, the negotiation process between trade unions and management? And that is C, any commercial activity involving the exchange of goods and services, and that is trade. Right? Let's go up. In a public limited company, losses are borne by A staff, B directors, C the community, or D the shareholders, and that is D the shareholders. Let's move on to 6. The primary role of the human resource department of an organization is to A hire, recruit, train, and motivate workers, B promote recreational activities for workers, C assist employees in understanding industrial relations, or is it D produce magazines highlighting outstanding workers? And that is A, hire, recruit, train, and motivate workers. So all need that motivation. So that's the primary role of the human resource department. So I'm going to turn it on to any nasal. All right, so they give us the diagram and they say item 78 refer to the following diagram, and then we have that, all of this. So I'm going to go back straight to the question, and it says the purchasing supervisor report directly to which of the following, and that would be right above him, which is the finance manager. All right, let's see what number 8 says. Number 8 refers to the diagram also. Which of the following positions would be best suited at X? Let's go back to the diagram so we can see X. All right, so that's the head. All right, let's go up the CEO. Is it the chief advisor, board of directors, managing director, or human resources? If I Jamaica, it'll be security guard. One academy. Anyway, it's not Jamaica, so it's the board of directors. So number 8 is D. Number 9, which of the following department is likely to use its management information system, or the MIS, to manage information about customers and their response to the product they sell? Is it finance, marketing, production, or human resources? And number 9 is B, marketing. All right, let's move on to 10. Subsidized meals for employees would fall under which of the following categories? This is fringe benefit, duty allowance, wages and salary, or workmen's compensation, and that would be fringe benefit. So number 10 would be A. All right, let's move on to 11. A major role of the trade union is to encourage the union of the workers, B, advancement of welfare of its members, C, sacking of workers whenever they have problems at work, or D, increase of salaries and vacations. And that All right, and that is B, advancement of the welfare of its members. So that would be. All right, let's move on to 12. An entrepreneur who wants to maintain control of the business would be advised to register the business as, is it A, sole trader, B, partnership, C, limited company, or is it D, private limited company? As a entrepreneur. All right, let's move on this on any of the papers. So let's go to this one for number 13. It says, which of the following is not an example of collateral? Bonds, B, stocks, C, property, D, money order. And that is money order. All right, let's move on to 14. The most important use of collateral security to the lender is that it is the most important use of collateral security to the lender is that it A, can be seized if the borrower fails to pay, B, establishes the financial position of the borrower, C, improves the borrower's chance of getting a loan, C, gives the lender idea of the state of the business. And it is A, seize it. Remember, the bank only loan to people who have money. If they don't have any collateral, you can't get a loan. Can you believe that? If you need money, you can't get money because they don't have money. All right, let's move on to 15. The synopsis of the business plan is contained in the, is it the feasibility plan, the marketing plan, keynote, or is it the executive summary? And that is the executive summary. Hit the like button, peeps. Hit the like button. I said, come on, right? When I do it, man, hit the like button. 16. A post-dated check is one in which is dated for payment for future date. Yeah, that's what a post-dated check. So we're not going to go any further. Let's move on to 17. Which of the following factors prevents an agreement from being considered a valid contract? Is it A, consideration, B, legal purpose, C, misrepresentation, or D, offer of acceptance? And that is C, misrepresentation. All right, let's move on to number 18. Hit the like button, peeps. Hit the like button. All right, a contract may be discharged by which of the following: breach, performance, or lapse of time. And that would be all three. All right, so you can breach it, done it on this. So performance, I mean you complete it, or if it's a time, for example, footballers sign 3 years, the time lapse, you're out, different contract. So time can exit, right? So all three. Let's move on to number 19. A purchase order is A, request for additional goods, B, notification of goods received, C, statement of outstanding debt, or is it E, documents offering to buy goods? And that is A, a request for additional goods. So 19 would be. All right, so we are at number 20. That means we are 2/3 there. No, 1/3. We. Which of the following types of checks allows an individual to receive cash on demand? Is it open, cross, certified, or bankers? We just did this, and that is open. So guys, if you haven't checked out my other videos, you need to do so. All right, for other subjects too. Let's move on to 21. Which of the following types of capital is used for day-to-day operations of a business? Is it fixed, floating, working, or nominal? And that would be working capital or working. All right, let's move on to 22. Which of the following factors of production earns interest? Is it land, capital, labor, or enterprise? And that is capital. All right, let's move on to 23. The term human resources refers to, is it A, material goods made by human being, capital investment by shareholders in a company, C, raw material used in manufacturing of goods, D, persons available for productive and professional services. So number 23 is let's move on to 24. Which of the following item is a product of the manufacturing industry? Boom, 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 car, boom, 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 boom. All right, so let's move on to number 25. 25, where are you? All right, here you are. So 25 now says Which of the following condition would constitute a linkage between two industries? A, two firms manufacture similar goods. B, one firm shares the use of machinery with another. C, two firms are responsible for the manufacturing of different kinds of goods. Or D, the output of one industry of the economy becomes the input of the another. So right here we see is a direct link, right? My output are your input, like manure, cow shit it out, and the farmers put it on the plants. All right, let's move to 26. Which of the following is a feature of perfect competition? A, fewer buyers and many sellers. Many buyers and fewer sellers. C, barriers to entry into the market. Or is it D, many buyers and many sellers? And that is perfect. She's 27. Which of the following is an example of a service type of production? Is it oil mining, pottery making, communication, or newspaper printing? And I'm going to go with communication. Call center people, big up on yourself. All right, let's move on to 28. The primary function of advertising is to A, promote a brand loyalty. B, promote public relations. C, communicate information. Or D, ensure wider distribution of goods. All right, so the primary, I would say, would to communicate, right? Because you want to get your thing out there. The people know what I want. All right, so 28 is C. 29. Which of the following is not a function of the retailer? And that is transporting goods at a suitable storage facility. And we done this on the previous paper. So guys, ensure that you just go through that video also. All right, you don't want to take anything from the exam. All right, let's move on to 30. Which of the following market situation is typically found where there are a large number of producers and consumers? Oligopoly, monopoly, perfect market, or imperfect market. And that would be the perfect market. Technically, we did this up here, so but in the other way around. C6 margin. Which of the following gives identity to the specific producer's good? Label, brand, patent, or copyright? And that would be brand. So that's P. Yeah, we pass halfway stage. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Let's move on to 32. In which of the following types of trade can the hire purchase method of buying be used? A, retail, import, foreign, or wholesale? And that is retail. Let's move on to 33. The price of an article is usually high when there is large quantity of sale and few people wanting to buy. No. Small quantity of sale and few people wanting to buy. Yes, yes. All right. Or no, small quantity of sale and few people to buy. No, that's not right. Large quantity of sale and many people wanting to buy. Small quantity of sale and many people wanting to buy. Yeah, you have little to buy, but enough people want it. Up, up, up it goes. All right. So let's move on to 34. Market equilibrium exists when A, buyers pay reasonable price for goods. B, sellers are satisfied with the price paid for their goods. C, at current prices, the amount buyers wish to buy is equal to the amount wishes to sell, and that is C. All right, so let's move on to 35. Hit the like button, guys, if you're just joining. Which of the following may cause the bank to dishonor a check? A, cross, check is crossed. 2, irregular signature. 3, check is post-date. Which of the following may cause the bank to dishonor a check? All right, so irregular signature, that's one. So either A, C, or D. Check cross, that not involved. So one, check out one more time. So that means we're left with 2 and 3, which is C. So you have to reason it out in a peep sometimes. The answer will just come right to you. So that will look good. All right, so let's look at 36. Which of the following is a function of which of the following is a function of the commercial bank and not of the central bank? Remember the central bank, just think of central bank as government, right? Providing personal loans, carrying out monetary policy, giving advice to government, managing the financial sector. The central bank will know yourself or mama. So providing personal loan. Central bank will not do that. The commercial bank will do that. All right, 37. Which of the following are characteristics of a stock market? A, cost and prices. B, risk and benefits. C, rent and investment. Or D, premium and rewards. And that is risk and benefit. All right. Let's move on to 38. Term investment is saving. Term invest is savings by buying shares in a company. From this investment, Tom expected to receive, I've done this one so many times, dividends. Right? So we are at 39 now. Still have a far way to go. Let's go. Have an exam to pass, guys. Hit the right button. 39. One of the major functions of the central bank is to issue notes and coins. Alright, let's move on to 40. So kill that right away. Investment can be defined as stock of goods in a country. B, additions to the capital stock of the country. And that's exactly what it is. Addition to the stock of the country. So we're not going to go any further. Just gonna circle. All right, let's move on to 41. Which of the following forms of taxation is imposed on goods produced in a country? Excess duty, preference duty, excess drawback, custom drawback. And that is A, excess duty. All right, let's move on to 42. A price control may be defined as A, tax on goods and services, B, government ban on imports, C, government limit on price of the good or service. And we're not going to go any further. 42 is C. We've done this many times, guys. So if you have not watched the video, please try to find time to go back over all my videos. Just type in Linux benefit principles of business or Linux benefit. Alright, let's move on to 44. Which of the following actions by the government is most likely to lead to an improvement in the standard of living? And I would say abolishing taxes on low incomes. Right? 45. Which of the following forms of taxation can be classified as direct? And that would be income tax. I know you guys should be just floating through them. Right? 46. Government offers subsidies for businesses to A, force them to pay corporation tax, B, increase costs and ultimately prices, C, reduce the cost and ultimately the prices, or is it D, increase price of imported goods? And that is C, reduce the cost and ultimately the prices. Right? So we need to subsidize education because it's too there. People can't afford university. All right, which of the following forms of taxation requires every employee to pay the same percentage of his salary in taxes? And that would be proportional. All right, so let's move on to 48. In calculating net national product, depreciation refers to is it the increase in the price level, decrease in the price level, decrease in the capital stock value, or increase in capital stock value. Now I was explaining depreciation decrease the value of things. So yeah, that would be C. Let's move on to 49. Almost there, guys. Hit the like button. Inflation can best be described as A, fluctuation in the general price level, B, a general and sustained rise in the level of prices. And we go no further. That is what it is. Inflation will kill it, especially with gas. Oh my god, gas prices are sky high, man. 50. Export licenses are issued mainly to A, encourage local businesses to produce more goods for export. B, enable the government to control the flow of goods being exported. Alright, and that is B, enable the government to control. Right? Government is all about control and robbing, nothing else. 51. The term trade insecurity refers to A, the selling of goods and services on the stock market, B, the movement of immigrants from one country to another, C, the negotiation process between trade unions and management, or D, any commercial activity involving the exchange of goods and services. And that would be A, selling of goods and services on the stock market. Let's go, guys. Let's go. If you're watching the playback, ensure that you have liked the video. All right, let's move on to 52. Which of the following is not a feature of free trade? And that is protectionism. All right, so that's B. We're not going to go any further because we have already had the answer. 53. The total value of goods imported minus the total value of goods exported is referred to as A, trade balance, total frequency for balance payments, or current account balance. And that is the balance of trade. All right, so let's move on to 54. A quote that can best describe as A, abandoned sales of goods, B, a license given import goods, C, an external tariff among countries, D, a restriction of the quantity imported. And that would be a restriction of the quantity imported. All right, that one had me a little while. All right, let's move on to 55. The term economic dualism defined an economy in one sector is technologically advanced while the other is technical. So let me just jump right to it. All right, guys, go back to the questions. All right, let's move on to 56. To correct an adverse balance of payments, a government may A, reduce credit, B, increase export, C, reduce income tax, or D, increase the money supply, and that is increase export. All right, so that's 56. Let's move on to 57. We have come to the very, very end. Thank you guys so much for staying. Ensure that you have liked the video. The purpose of CARICOM is to A, allow member states to collaborate, B, foster interregional trade and common services. And we look no further and we found the answer. That's B. Let's move on to 58. The major aim of the European Union, the EU, is free movement of goods, people, capital. Which of it? Which is it? And that is all three. The free movement of goods, people, and capital. So number 58 would be. All right, let's move on to 59. Just two to go. In periods of inflation, the ability to raise additional capital for expansion is most likely to be a problem for this is sole trader, partnership, public company, or multi. And that is sole trader because that's an entrepreneur. Hello. All right, let's move on to 60. Which of the following countries are not members of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States? And we had established that it was Barbados and Jamaica. All right, so that would be C. Doubt. Yes. All right, guys. So this is an explanation. No doubt. See you guys in another video.